Before diving into this incredible story, remember to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Here, every story has something to say, and you won't want to miss a single one. The sun was sinking towards the horizon, painting the city streets in an orange glow. Emily, a kind-hearted girl, was walking through the market after school, carrying a basket of fruit for her family. Suddenly, a beggar, weak and shivering with cold, collapsed beside her. Without hesitation, Emily rushed to his aid. She shared her meal with him, warmed him with her coat, and accompanied him to the nearest medical center. Passers-by watched, some intrigued, others disdainful. But Emily saw only the suffering man before her. The beggar, whose gaze expressed boundless gratitude, murmured a simple, "Thank you," before disappearing into the crowd after being taken care of. Years later, as Emily lived a modest but honest life, an unexpected event turned her world upside down. The beggar she had saved was none other than Nathaniel Hart, an influential billionaire and discreet philanthropist. Grateful to the young woman who had shown compassion when he had nothing, Nathaniel sought out Emily, found her, and, in a gesture both surprising and romantic, asked her to share his life with him. Emily, stunned but moved, understood that her kindness had changed not only a man's destiny, but her own as well. That day, in Nathaniel's sumptuous living room, surrounded by soft light and delicate flowers, Emily agreed to become his wife, marking the beginning of a life she had never dared to imagine. Emily lived in a small downtown apartment, surrounded by faded walls and a simple but honest life. She worked as a waitress in a modest cafe to help her family, her days punctuated by hurried customers and the clinking of cups. Despite the fatigue and financial difficulties, her smile remained bright, a reflection of her kindness and generous heart. One freezing winter evening, as she was returning home from work, Emily saw a man lying on the sidewalk. His clothes were in tatters, and his hands were trembling violently. Passers-by looked away, some murmuring disparaging comments, but Emily felt an irresistible surge of compassion. She knelt beside him. "Sir, are you all right?" The man looked up, and Emily was struck by the profound weariness and distress that shone in his eyes. He barely murmured, "I'm hungry and cold." Without hesitation, Emily shared her meal and her coat with him, accompanying him to the nearest medical center. She stayed by his side, speaking softly to reassure him. The doctors, surprised by her generosity, let her wait until the man was seen. Before leaving, he took her hand and whispered, "Thank you, you have no idea how much you've saved me." Then he disappeared into the night, leaving Emily with a strange feeling of emptiness and satisfaction mixed together. Years passed. Emily continued her simple life, unaware that the mysterious man she had helped was none other than Nathaniel Hart, a discreet billionaire known for his philanthropic actions, but who had preferred to remain in the shadows until the day he could thank the one who had changed his life. One day, while Emily was serving customers in the cafe, an elegant man entered, his blue eyes scanning the room with an intensity that sent shivers down her spine. When he approached her and said her name, Emily felt her heart race. "Emily, do you remember me?" She looked at him, uncertain, then the truth hit her, it was him, the beggar she had once helped. That day, their destinies changed forever. Emily still couldn't believe it. The man before her, elegant and imposing, was none other than Nathaniel Hart, the billionaire who had once been a simple beggar. Her heart was pounding, torn between surprise, curiosity, and a strange feeling of déjà vu. Nathaniel, for his part, watched Emily with tenderness and admiration. Throughout all these years, he had never forgotten the young woman who had reached out to a stranger without expecting anything in return. And today, he wanted to thank her, in the most sincere and profound way possible. Yet, Emily felt a mixture of fear and disbelief. How could a man she had never seen before suddenly enter her life with such confidence? And why did he seem so insistent on protecting her from everything, as if he knew her innermost thoughts and fears? Nathaniel invited her into his vast mansion to talk. The sumptuous hall took her breath away, sparkling chandeliers, magnificent carpets, and works of art that seemed to tell stories of glory and fortune. But Emily, far from being impressed, remained true to herself, observing the place with curious and skeptical eyes. Emily, Nathaniel said in a soft but firm voice, "I'm not here to impress you with my wealth. I'm here to thank you. You saved me when no one else did. You showed what few people have, a pure heart and selfless kindness." Emily blushed slightly, touched, but hesitant. "I don't know. I only did what seemed right to me." Nathaniel smiled and, in an unexpected gesture, extended his hand to her. "So let me offer you a better life, let me be the one who takes care of you, as you have taken care of me." Emily felt her heart clench. The offer was tempting, almost unreal. But she knew that life with a billionaire wasn't a fairy tale. Society, jealousy, and gossip would be watching their every move. She had to be prepared to face much more than her own fear and disbelief. Yet, deep down, Emily felt a glimmer of hope. Perhaps fate had finally decided to reward her kindness. And if she accepted Nathaniel, her life, once ordinary and marked by sacrifices, could become extraordinary, but not without trials. Emily finally accepted Nathaniel's invitation to spend time with him at his home. The first few days were a mixture of wonder and unease. She was discovering a world of luxury she had never dreamed of, but every detail reminded her that she came from another universe. The servants, the cars, the business meetings, it was all overwhelming. Nathaniel, however, was patient. He guided her gently, teaching her to navigate this world without rushing her. But despite his efforts, Emily often felt out of place. She was afraid she didn't belong in this world, and this fear sometimes made her distant and reserved. One evening, while they were having dinner in the candlelit dining room, Nathaniel tried to break the ice. "Emily, I know all this may seem overwhelming, but I want you to know that I'm not asking anything more of you than what you already are. Your sincerity, your heart, your courage, that's what I admire." Emily lowered her eyes, moved. I'm scared, Nathaniel. Scared of losing myself, scared that this world will change me or that I'll disappoint you." Nathaniel took her hand gently. "You'll never disappoint me, Emily. All I want is for you to stay true to yourself." But despite these reassuring words, the outside world soon intruded. Local newspapers quickly began publishing rumors about their relationship. Some whispered that Nathaniel had chosen Emily out of pity alone. Others were outraged to see a billionaire marry a young woman from a modest background. Emily felt the weight of judgment pressing down on her shoulders. She began to doubt herself. Could she really face this criticism? And Nathaniel, despite his trust, had to show her that he was ready to do anything to protect their love. One evening, after a long day of media frenzy, Nathaniel took her in his arms. "Emily, we're going to get through this together. It doesn't matter what others think. What matters is us." Emily felt a comforting warmth wash over her. She understood that, despite the obstacles and the fear, her bond with Nathaniel was real, sincere, and that no fortune or outside opinion could erase it. But the true test of their love had yet to begin. A few weeks after they grew closer, Emily and Nathaniel seemed to have settled into a fragile but happy routine. However, life had no intention of granting them lasting peace. One morning, while Emily was walking in the park to reflect on recent events, she was approached by an elegant and cold woman. "Emily Harper?" she asked, her voice icy. Emily, surprised, nodded. "I'm Vanessa Clay, a journalist. You should know that your relationship with Nathaniel Hart is causing a scandal. Readers are wondering how an ordinary girl could possibly have a place by his side." The words hit Emily like a punch. The criticism, already present in the newspapers, now seemed personified. She felt anger mixed with fear rising within her. Was she even ready to face this world of judgment and pretense? Back at Nathaniel's house, she confided her fears. "I don't know if I can take all this. Everyone doubts us." Nathaniel took her in his arms, his gaze determined. "Emily, no one has the right to decide who we are. We went through much worse before I became who I am today. Remember, you saved me when I was at my lowest point. If we survived that, we'll survive anything else." Their bond was strengthened by the ordeal. Emily understood that wealth and fame could not erase what united them. their mutual trust, their sincerity, and the deep gratitude that bound their hearts. But the universe seemed determined to test their love one last time. A scandal involving Nathaniel's family broke in the newspapers, threatening not only his reputation but also Emily's safety. Anonymous threats began to arrive, forcing her into temporary hiding. Faced with this threat, Nathaniel displayed all his courage and determination. He organized their safety, but above all, he stayed by Emily's side, showing her that, no matter the dangers, he would never leave her alone. Through fear and uncertainty, Emily realized a crucial truth: love is not the absence of hardship, but the ability to stay together despite it. And that day, as night fell on the city, Emily and Nathaniel, hand in hand, understood that their love, forged by fate and kindness, was stronger than anything. Time had passed, and the trials Emily and Nathaniel had faced now seemed distant, almost unreal. Life had finally granted them the peace they deserved. The media frenzy had died down, and the whispers of judgment had been replaced by admiration for their sincerity and courage. Emily, once a modest and unassuming young woman, had blossomed into a fulfilled woman, respected not for her wealth, but for the kindness and authenticity she continued to radiate. Nathaniel, for his part, had found in her not only love, but also a partner capable of understanding and supporting him in every aspect of his life. One morning, in the lush garden of their home, Emily watched the roses open in the sunlight. Nathaniel approached gently and took her hand as he had done years before, when their paths had first crossed. "Emily," he murmured, his eyes shining, "every day by your side reminds me that everything I've accomplished only has meaning because you're here. You saved me once, and today, you're the one who lights up my life." Emily smiled, feeling her heart fill with an indescribable warmth. "Nathaniel, I've never regretted a single moment, even when I was afraid. Because everything we've been through has brought us closer, and I know that nothing and no one can separate us." They embraced, and for the first time in a long time, there was no fear, no doubt, no obstacles. Just the two of them, united by gratitude, tenderness, and a love that had survived all the storms. Their story, born of an act of kindness, had defied time, fortune, and hardship. And as the sun bathed their garden in golden light, Emily and Nathaniel understood that the true miracle was not wealth or fame, but the power of a generous heart and the strength of true love. And so, hand in hand, they moved towards a future filled with happiness, certain that, no matter what life had in store for them, they would always be together.